Long ago and oh so far away, fans fell in love with the Carpenters. Their music continues to resonate in our hearts and will soon echo through the halls of the North Charleston Performing Arts Center. Here to share more on a special tour celebrating this 1970s musical duo is Michelle Berting Brett, lead vocalist for We've Only Just Begun Carpenters Remembered tour. Great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
So for our viewers who may not be familiar, which I can't even imagine, but who may not be familiar with Carpenters music, can you tell us a little bit more about their story?
Well, Karen and Richard Carpenter grew up in New Haven, Connecticut and moved across the country to Downey, California. They became one of the most successful recording acts of all time. Karen was the lead singer of the band, Richard was the piano player and the musical driving force for the act. And they had a bazillion fantastic hits that are really just part of our DNA.
And so loved. They had such a following, and they still do, obviously. But why was it Carpenters that you felt resonated with you particularly?
Well, I grew up with their music, so it was in my DNA. And I went off for my musical career, studied opera, musical theater, worked in the theater for about a decade, and then I started to put together my own cabaret shows. And I explored the jazz repertoire, the American songbook, and I started to add in songs from my youth. And what happened at that particular time was people started to say, Michelle, you sound like Karen Carpenter.
Wow.
What an amazing, amazing compliment, because she really was a one-of-a-kind voice.
She really had a beautiful voice.
Beautiful voice and just such a heartfelt way of singing a song. So I started adding their songs into my shows. And what was really inspiring to me was hearing the stories that people had about their music, about their connection to Karen.
Yeah.
You know, people would say, oh, my grandmother used to listen to the Carpenters in the car, or my mom used to sing Close to You to me, or We've Only Just Begun was our graduation theme. So I thought, you know, this is really a special thing, this connection, this emotional response to these songs. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have a show of all Carpenters music? But it wasn't until I met my now husband, Mark Brett, who's the producer of our show, that the show had liftoff.
That's fantastic.
He has always worked behind the scenes in the music business, and when he heard about my dream of putting this show together, he really got it. He said, Michelle, let's do it. And so we haven't looked back.
Here you are 6 years later, and you're on tour. You've been very successful amongst performing arts centers, casinos. People can see you all over the place. So you're doing a tour now. You're going to be stopping at the North Charleston Performing Arts Center. And this is happening Saturday, January 22nd. So people need to get their tickets. They need to go.
You're going to hear all of those wonderful songs. We've Only Just Begun, Top of the World, Close to You, Rainy Days and Mondays. You're going to hear our band out of Nashville. You're going to hear 4 wonderful background singers.
And I have to point out the fact that the Pops Orchestra, the Charleston Pops Orchestra, is going to be playing with you. So really, audiences are in for such a treat. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, and we'll see you all on Saturday.
We'll see you then. We're back after this.